Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Okay. Today we are talking about tissue repair. Okay. Okay. Tissue repair. Yeah. See, if there is a stress, okay, if there is a stress, the cell will go for adaptation. The cell will go for adaptation. Listen. And if the stress is continued, okay, and it is exceeding the capacity of adaptation, they will go for cell injury. Understand? If the cell injury is becoming irreversible, they will go for necrosis. So once the necrosis happens, the cell will die. It will be removed by the inflammation. Basically, the neutrophils come and they will remove the necrotic area. After this, the process of repair starts. Okay, so repair starts after the injury. Understand? After the injury, the result of the injury, the repair starts. Okay, so the repair, before going to repair, you should know certain basic definition. The basic difference between regeneration and repair. Regeneration means you will, if there is any injury, you will get back the complete organ, complete tissue. For example, there are some animals, if you cut the limb, the hand of the animal, okay, the limb of the animal, the complete limb grows back. That is complete restoration of the limb. That is called regeneration. That is really true regeneration. Understand? Yeah. So if you cut the limb grows back. If you cut the limb grows back. Okay, that is complete restoration of the damaged tissue. Okay, so in repair, okay, repair, there is a damage, okay, then the tissue heals by a process, and that will not bring the complete structure. There is some structural alteration. There is some structural alteration. Okay, there is some structural alteration. Okay, okay, I'll give some clinical example, you will understand. Brother, please, this is recording, okay? Inshallah, if you have any doubt, please write it down, because the recording won't. Yeah.
يا شباب المحاضرة الحين قاعدة تتسجل يعني تسمعونها في اليوتيوب عشان كذا لا أحد يسأل اللي عنده سؤال يكتبه بعدين يسأل الدكتور بعد الكلاس.
Inshallah, you can ask doubt after the class. Right? Okay. But actually, all the doubts, once the class ends, you will not get the doubt. Okay, because we are getting doubt because it's incomplete. Right? Okay. So if I tell the with clinical example, you will understand clearly what is regeneration, what is repair. So this kind of injury, I think everybody would have experienced, right? If you play football, something happens. If you fall, okay, you will get some kind of small scratches, right? Abrasions. Okay. After a week, it will become like this, right? Okay, it will become healing starts. After a week, it will become like this. After a period of time, it will completely heals. Okay, after some months, you will not see any evidence of injury. Understand? It completely heals. Okay, so why it happens, you should know some basic things related to the skin. Okay, so skin is lined by what type of epithelium? No need to answer, inshallah I will tell, because it is recording. Okay, so skin is lined by, I hope you all know this. Okay, skin is lined by a stratified, keratinizing stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified means layer. Okay. Keratinizing stratified squamous epithelium. Okay. So stratification means multi-layer. Okay, stratification means multi-layer. So it has multiple layer. One of the layer is called stratum basalis. Stratum basalis. It is a single layer of cells. Okay, it is called stratum. Stratum means layer. Basalis means basal layer. It is called stratum. Stratum basalis. It is by basal cells. Basal cells. These cells divide and they form another layer. Okay, that is called stratum spinosum. Actually, these all cells comes from the basal cells because the basal cells divide and they form a thick layer. It has multiple layers of cells. It is called stratum spinosum. Okay, right? It is called stratum spinosum. Okay. Okay. Then we have a maturing layer that is called after this the cells will not divide, it will mature. Okay, it is called stratum granulosum. Stratum granulosum. Right. So this all has nucleus. Understand? This all has nucleus. These basal cells are very powerful. So they have very large nucleus because they keep dividing. Okay. They have very large nucleus compared to the size of the cell. They have very large nucleus and they divide and they form what? Stratum spinosum. They form stratum spinosum. Okay, they form stratum spinosum. Understand? They form stratum spinosum. They form stratum spinosum. After that, they will mature and they form stratum granulosum. After that, the cell will die and they will put their protein here. That is called stratum corneum. This is called stratum. Okay, the stratum corneum is the skin which we are touching. Okay, the stratum corneum. Understand? Okay, if this whole structure is called epidermis. Okay, the epidermis also has sweat glands, sebaceous glands. So now you concentrate on only this. It is called epidermis. Below the basal layer there is a membrane where the basal layer sits. This membrane is very, very important. This membrane is called basement membrane. This membrane is called basement membrane. Okay, this is called basement membrane. the basal cell sits on this membrane. Understand? So it is called basement membrane. Okay, this is called basement membrane. So down that basement membrane we have a connective tissues. Okay, we have a connective tissues. We have connective tissues. Okay, that is called dermis. Connective tissue contains blood vessels. Okay, they have blood vessels and they have a special cell called fibroblast. They have a special cell called fibroblast. This fibroblast produce that connective tissue, produce that extracellular, this collagen. It produce the collagen. Understand? So the collagen is like a cement where the all the epithelium sits on it. Okay. So if we don't have a collagen, we will be like a round ball. Understand? So whole tissue sits on this collagen. The bone has collagen. Everything has a collagen. Understand? So this is produced by the cell called fibroblast. Okay. And we have some macrophages in the dermis. Okay. So these are the main connective tissues in the dermis. Understand? Okay. So if this guy is falling and is getting some abrasion, this area is damaged. Okay, this area is damaged. Which area is damaged? Epidermis is damaged. In other words, epidermis is damaged or stratified, keratinizing stratified squamous epithelium is damaged. Understand? Okay. So if only the epidermis is damaged, it is called superficial cutaneous injury. Cutaneous means it's like a skin. So superficial injury, it is called superficial injury. If there is only superficial injury, when they are healing, these basal cells will divide and they will reproduce the skin. So that's why you are not getting any evidence of injury. Understand? That's why you are not getting any evidence of injury. This is called regeneration. Complete skin comes back, right? Complete superficial skin comes back. Complete epidermis comes back. Complete stratified squamous epithelium comes back. Understand? So this is called regeneration. This is called regeneration. They call it as a regeneration or re-epithelialization. Re-epithelialization. Okay, it is called re-epithelialization. Understand? Okay, I will take another example. You all understand this? Okay, then let's follow this. So it's like something like a cut, right? It is healed. Okay. Okay. When it is healed, we call it as a scar. Why you are seeing a scar here? Okay, mashallah, it is dermis is injured. Understand? When the dermis is injured, it is replaced by a collagen. Okay, it is replaced by the collagen. Which cells produce collagen? Fibroblast produce collagen. So the fibroblast becoming active and they produce collagen and it will heal by the collagen. Collagen is like a cement. It will heal by the collagen. So that's why you are seeing a scar. Okay. So this is increased production of collagen is otherwise called as fibrosis. It is scar formation. Understand? It is scar formation. Okay. Here what happens? It is a burn injury. Okay. If the extension of injury is very big. Okay. In the burns what happens? The injury is very big and it is deep. The extent of injury is so big, so they produce more collagen. Understand? Excessive collagen they will produce. When they produce excessive collagen, the collagen has a character to contract. Okay. When they contract, so the leg is pulled, understand, because of excessive collagen. We need a cosmetic surgery to correct this procedure, to correct this problem, understand. So this is basically due to the severe burn injuries or severe injury which has more extension and deep. It will end up with like this, understand. It is nothing but excessive fibrosis leading to contracture. Okay, so this is another example. Again it is a burn injury. See, you can see the pull of the collagen. Okay, this contracting. So this is another kind of injury. See, it is contracted, so it is completely flexed. The hand is completely flexed. You cannot able to extend it. Okay, what is this? This is scar. No problem, right? You all understood. Clear? Okay. What is this? Again it is a scar, but this scar little bit came above the level of the skin. It is little bit came above the level of the skin, but this area is at the level of the skin. Understand? This area is at the level of the skin and this area is came above the skin. Still I call it as a scar. Okay. This is, okay, don't get attracted. Okay. So concentrate on the subject. This is acne, okay, pimples, okay. This is acne or pimples, okay. So usually this infection is superficial. This infection is superficial. So that's why you all know, okay, our grandparents or our parents used to tell, don't break the pimple, okay, don't break it, because if you break it you will get the scar. Because why? They are good pathologists basically. So the microorganisms go to the deeper part of the skin and they will produce scar. So they are so talented, so that's why they tell don't break it. So she is so clever and she didn't break it, so she got back her skin. Okay, so this is, so okay, she got little bit deeper injury, so what happened? It produced scar. Okay, this is very spreading infection in the skin. Actually this is a male case. Actually you can see the mustache. Okay, so this is because you should not get attracted. Okay, it's a male. Okay, so it is full of infection, and what happened is this infection is not superficial. Please carefully see, this infection is not superficial. See, this is, please understand, this hand is epidermis. Okay, sometimes we have lot of holes in the skin, okay, that we cannot see. We have lot of holes and the infection can enter this hole and they go to the dermis. When they go to the dermis, see, this is the epidermis. The infection went to the dermis. In the dermis, when the infection goes, they create inflammation. When they create inflammation, then the inflammation removes the bacteria and they also die. They form some kind of necrotic areas, okay, first kind of areas. Then what happens? The healing starts. It will be removed, again the healing starts. When the healing starts, they produce collagen. They produce collagen, they produce fibrosis. When they produce fibrosis, it contracts. When it contracts, see, it is pulling the epidermis. You can understand? It pulling the epidermis. It is not scar. If you see closely, it is the skin going down and coming back. Understand? It is a dip. So this is a different type of scar. It is scar is happening in the dermis, which is pulling the skin. Understand? Okay. So what is this? I will explain. Okay, see, this is skin. Okay, the skin got injury. Okay, so it will heal by collagen production. Okay, this is the collagen. So if the collagen is at the level of skin, okay, at the level of skin, it is scar. Okay, if it goes above the level of skin, it is called hypertrophic scar. Understand? It is called hypertrophic scar. If the collagen goes beyond the level of injury, understand? Please carefully listen to my word. If the collagen goes beyond the level of injury, it is called keloid. It is called keloid. Understand? It is called keloid. I will show the picture, you will understand. Okay? This is the keloid. Okay? This is called keloid. Too much of collagen formation. Okay? It happens in some persons if they have some kind of hereditary overproduction of collagen. Usually it comes in the chest areas. Okay? Because especially if the person, the chest area, it always the skin goes for stretch. The skin always goes for stretch, so they will get keloid in this area. Okay. Okay. So far we discussed what happens in the skin, superficial. Okay, outside. Okay, it is easy to understand. Same thing happens inside the body. Same thing happens inside the body. For example, liver is the best organ to study tissue repair. For example, liver is if the person drinks alcohol, what happens? They go for fatty change. After the fatty change, the cell will go for necrosis, and then it will be removed by inflammation. When it is removed by inflammation, then it will heal by fibrosis. Okay. So liver cells surrounding the fibrosis, what they will do? They will proliferate. Okay. The liver cells surrounding, they will proliferate because they are highly proliferating cells. Okay. They will proliferate. Understand? When the liver goes for damage, the liver cells will proliferate. Okay. When the liver cells proliferate, they will form nodules. You can understand nodules? They will form some small bulge. Okay. So this kind of bulge is due to the fibrosis of the liver. Okay. But if the person is keep on continuing alcohol, okay, again this area also goes for fibrosis. The whole liver goes for fibrosis. Understand? So this is whole liver completely become fibrotic, full of collagen, no hepatocytes. The liver ends up with failure. It's like a no liver. So the liver ends with failure. That is called hepatic failure, liver failure. So this complete fibrotic condition of the liver, is called cirrhosis. Cirrhosis. Shall I show the picture? You will understand. So this is the starting stage, fatty liver. Then it will go for areas of fibrosis. Then the complete fibrosis happens. Okay. This is the example taken in the alcoholic patient. Okay. Let's see in the hepatitis virus infection. Okay. So when the hepatitis virus comes, okay, when any virus comes, it starts like acute inflammation, but acute inflammation cannot remove the virus because the virus goes inside the DNA, okay, inside the nucleus. It is very difficult to remove the virus, and they have lot of mechanism to protect themselves. Okay, they are very clever virus. Okay, so once they enters, okay, then it sets up the chronic inflammation. Once the chronic inflammation, the rule for chronic inflammation is the chronic inflammation always end with fibrosis. So they are going for this pink color balls are the fibrosis. Okay, so it is completely becoming fibrotic, then it is called cirrhotic. Okay, this is the best example. So chronic inflammation, for example, if the hepatitis comes to a patient, it will be there in the liver, slowly triggers the inflammation. Every year some part of the liver cells damage. Okay, in 15 to 20 years the whole liver goes for fibrotic. So if the person is affected by the hepatitis B, hepatitis C, it is like he is living that his liver is going for fibrosis. So 15 to 20 years he should prepare himself to go for liver transplantation. Okay, he should prepare himself to go for, because no medicine can be given if there is liver is failed. Only the solution is this, he has to go for liver transplantation. Okay. I told in the beginning, liver is so powerful organ, right? Liver is a powerful. How much it is powerful? If you cut the liver, okay, liver can come back. Okay, it is not exactly coming back to shape. It comes back to function. It comes back to volume. Understand? It will come back to volume, right? So such a powerful organ. But if a person drinks, if a person gets hepatitis, okay, most common cause for getting hepatitis is two reasons. Okay, it's not alcohol always. If the person zina, mashallah, then it is drugs. Okay, what happens? They take drugs with the same injections. Okay, so these are the reasons they get most of the times hepatitis infection. Very accidentally, if you get an accident, they are putting blood to you. They are giving blood transfusion. Through that blood, it can go. Okay, so that's why when you are going to abroad, US or UK, when you are getting accident, be careful when they are transfusing the blood, because that guys, US and UK, I've been there, so they sell their blood for money. Okay, why they sell their blood for money? Okay, we call them as a paid donors. Okay, to get the money and to do some all kind of nasty stuffs. Okay, drug and all those stuffs. Okay, so that's why it's very difficult. Don't most of the time Allah should protect you when you go to those country. You should not have any blood transfusion there. High risk of getting the diseases. Okay, so you understand, when you cut the liver comes back. Now the concept is, why in this alcohol and hepatitis virus the liver cannot come back. Okay, just to imagine you are having a cake in front of you. Okay, you are cutting the cake. Okay, so when you are cutting the cake, you are making into two halves. Understand? You are not spoiling the cake, right? But the cake cannot grow. But if you are cutting the liver, you are not spoiling the liver, but liver is growing back. But in hepatitis and alcohol, internal structure is damaged. Understand? Internal structure is as if the cake inside is damaged. Understand? Internal structure, internal framework of the liver is damaged. When the internal, that I am going to tell the principle, in any organ, internal structural framework is damaged, it will end up with fibrosis. It will end up with fibrosis. However the powerful the organ may be, however the powerful the cells may be, once the structure, internal structure is damaged, it will end up with fibrosis. Like how other people create internal problem in Arab nations, so it spoils the country itself. Okay, so it is very important. Understand? Internal structure should be good. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the previous slides now. Okay, now I showed many examples. Let us go to the principles now. Okay. Now what is regeneration? Regeneration means the tissues coming back to normal. Okay, the tissues coming back to normal. If you cut, I will show the animal. If you cut that animal, not cutting the animal, cutting the hand of the animal, limb of the animal, the limb grows back. That is true regeneration. But in the liver, what is happening is not true regeneration. It is compensatory hyperplasia. It is compensatory growth. Understand? So I given the example here. Okay, the liver growth. The principle is given here. Understand? Then what is renewal? Go back to the tissue homeostasis. In tissue homeostasis, what happens? The cells die, new cells come. Okay, the skin, every day the cell is dying, every day new cell is coming. The skin basal cell is always in a division. Okay, so stratum corneum, stratum granulosum, then the cell die. Immediately the new cell comes. Okay, they will not give a gap. So it is so powerful, it is well balanced. Understand? So they are highly proliferating cells. Okay, so beneath the basal cell we have a stem cell for the basal cell. Understand? We have a stem cell for the basal cell. If the stem cell is damaged, they cannot do that. Okay, if the stem cell is damaged, they cannot do that. Understand? So this is what I mentioned here. So the stem cell should not get damaged. Okay. Now coming to the repair. Repair is a combination of regeneration and scar formation. Scar is nothing but deposition of the collagen. You all understand this? Yes. So regeneration means if the person fall, only the superficial skin is lost, that is epidermis is lost, epidermis comes back. So it is a regeneration. So and scar formation means something very deep, it will end up with collagen formation and it will end up with scar formation. Okay. So how it selects whether it's a regeneration or the scar? By two things. It depends upon the tissue. If the tissue can able to bring back the cells, it will regenerate. And it also depend upon the injury, extent of the injury. So these two are very, very important. Understand? So one I given the example of the superficial skin injury. Other one I given the example of the chronic inflammation. Understand? Okay, this is the pictorial explanation. If the tissue goes for injury, understand, if the tissue goes for injury, whether they can go for regeneration or repair. If the complete renewing of the tissue happens, that is happens in the skin, GI tract and urinary tract, all every day the cell dies, new cells come. It is renewing, okay. It is as if the eczema get expired, you are renewing the eczema. I don't know, you don't have that experience, I think. Okay, eczema getting expired, then we have to renew the eczema. Understand? Visa gets expired, we have to, like that. The cell die, new cells come. Understand? So sometimes if there is stable tissue, it is a stable tissue. Okay, normally it is stable. Liver is stable tissue. Okay, if you cut the liver, immediately liver becomes active. Okay, they will grow. So that is by compensation, not like a same shape. Understand? It is by compensation. It happens in the liver, kidney as well as in the pancreas sometimes. Okay, liver, kidney and sometimes in the pancreas. If the wound is little bit deep, okay, extension of the wound is more, it will end up with scar formation. Okay, if there is chronic inflammation, the internal structure is damaged, then it will end up with complete fibrosis of the organ. Complete fibrosis of the organ. Okay, so this all we explained. Okay, so there are three types of cells basically. There are three types of cells. Okay, so some cells, they are continuously dividing. So don't worry about this picture. Inshallah, I will explain more in the neoplasia chapter. Okay, related to the tumor and growth. Okay, so now you concentrate on these points. There are some cells, they continuously divide. Example, skin epithelium or epithelium of the bladder, epithelium of the GIT, oral mucosa. These are the cells which keep on dividing. Okay, and there are some cells, they are silent. When it is needed, they will divide. Example, liver. Example, kidney. They are stable tissue. When the damage comes, they divide. Okay, they are called quiescent cells. Okay, stable tissues. And there are some cells, they are permanent. They will never divide. Okay, example, brain tissue and neurons of the brain. They will never divide. Once they die, it's died. It is dead. They cannot come back. Okay, now coming to the concept of stem cells. Okay, so the stem cells are the parent cells which bring back the any tissue. Okay, so you should know little bit about embryology. So when the fertilization occurs, the first cell formed is zygote. Okay, the first cell formed is zygote. The whole human being comes from that cell. Okay, the whole human being comes from that cell. Actually, in the cloning process, we take this cell and we do the cloning. Okay, so remember, if we want to create something, okay, we need something. Understand? If Allah wants to create something, He doesn't need anything, right? This is the biggest difference between our creation and Allah's creation. Okay, so don't get confused by the theory of evolution, all those blah blah things. Okay, it's all proved foolish. Okay, and remember, and zygote, from the zygote, the whole human being comes. Okay, the whole human being comes. Okay, when the zygote, then they divide and they form three germ layers. What are they? Ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Okay, from the ectoderm, what are the tissues come? skin and the brain. Neuroectoderm forms, the brain comes, right? Okay. So in the from the mesoderm, how many tissues can come? Many tissues. Blood vessel, muscle, bone, okay, cartilage, okay. Understand? Anything between the skin and the internal organ, okay. All the structures comes from mesoderm, okay. Muscle, adipose tissue, blood vessels, what to say, bone, cartilage, blood cells, okay, all comes from mesoderm, okay. But see, mesodermal cells can bring back many types of tissue, right? Ectoderm can bring back skin, breast, brain, all those tissue. So they cannot bring the whole human tissue, okay, but they can bring back multiple tissues. Understand? Zygote can bring back whole human, but the layers, the 3-layer germ layer cells, they can bring back many tissues, but not all. Clear? Okay, so that's why they call it as pluripotent stem cells. Pluripotent stem cells. Pluri means plural, okay, many, and they have many tissues they can bring, but not all, okay. But zygote can bring all, so it is called totipotent stem cell. Please understand the difference, okay. Clear? Okay, totipotent stem cells means they can bring back any tissue, the total tissues, okay, the total tissues. So for example, zygote can bring back any tissues of the human, okay. Whereas when they become as a 3 germ layers, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, the ectoderm can bring back the tissues which the ectoderm can bring. Understand? So even though they can bring back many tissues, but they cannot bring the tissues of the endoderm. They cannot bring the tissues of the mesoderm, but zygote can bring. Understand? So that's why they are called pluripotent stem cells. Okay. Then lineage committed stem cell. Very simple. Okay. Now the mesoderm is dividing into a group of stem cells that can bring the muscle. Understand? So that stem cell is specific. Understand? It is lineage. Lineage means it will bring back only the muscle. It is lineage committed stem cell. It will not bring the bone. Understand? It will bring the only muscle. It is committed. It is lineage specific committed stem cells. Understand? So there are different types of stem cells. You should understand the terminologies. Clear? You should understand the terminologies. Okay. So this is the amphibian. Okay. It's called newt. If you cut this, we use this in the laboratory research. If you cut this limb, it will bring back the limb. Okay. It is complete regeneration. This is true regeneration. Understand? But whereas in the liver, this is the rat liver. See, I don't know what's the purpose of talking like this. Okay, please try to understand. I'm taking class from 8 o'clock. Okay, if you talk, I have to raise my voice. Really, I'm getting tired. Actually, I'm doing 4 persons job. Understand? Please try to understand. Give some respect. Okay, if you are getting bored, if you can't able to concentrate, please get out. Actually, this and all coming in the recording. Okay, the recording person gets upset when he sees when he hears the recording. Anyway, coming to the point, this is experiment. Okay, it's a rat liver. Okay, so the rat liver has left lobe, right lobe, and medial lobe. Okay, I am removing the left lobe and the medial lobe. Okay, so only the right lobe is left. Okay, so I am stimulating the liver cells now. Okay, the liver cell is not bringing the medial lobe, left lobe, but they are increasing their right lobe. Understand? They are increasing their right lobe. You understand this? Yeah. So this is compensatory growth. It is not true. This is not true regeneration like this. Okay? It is a compensatory growth done to bring back the normal function. Understand? Done to bring back the normal function. Okay. So now let us discuss about something about extracellular matrix. The extracellular matrix are like a cement in the tissues. Okay, so this is very important, that gives the structural strength to the tissues. Okay, and the tissues are in the proper shape because of this extracellular matrix. The main substance which I am going to discuss is only collagen. Inshallah in the other modules we will discuss more. So now we concentrate on the collagen. Okay, see, collagen is like a cement, I told. If there is no collagen, it will be like a big round ball. Okay, so the collagen is present everywhere. It is produced by the fibroblasts. See, there are 27 different types of collagen, but I want you people to remember only 4 types, because it is very important for our undergraduates to remember the 4 types. So what are they? The type 1 is present in bone. Bone contains B1. Okay, you can easily remember. Bone contains type 1 collagen. Type 2 collagen is present in cartilage. Okay, it's present, just pronounce the cartilage as cartilage. Assalamualaikum. Yes, brother. Fine, alhamdulillah. How are you, brother? I am in the class, brother. Shall I finish the class by 4 o'clock? Okay, so it is produced by the, okay, where we are, okay, the type 2 collagen is produced by cartilage. Okay, so it is present in the cartilage, and type 3 presents everywhere. Type 4 collagen, remember it as a floor means basement. It is present in the basement. Remember, all the epithelial tissues sits on the basement. Okay, see, the endothelial cells in the blood vessel, they also sits on the basement membrane. They also sits on the basement membrane. They also sit on the basement membrane. So to have a good strong capillaries, we need good basement membrane. Okay, this basement membrane contains what? Type 4 collagen. Type 4 collagen. See, for the synthesis of any collagen, we need vitamin C. We need vitamin C. Okay, the severe form of vitamin C deficiency is called as scurvy. Okay, it is called as scurvy. Okay, in scurvy, what happens? Vitamin C is less, collagen synthesis is less, basement membrane will be strong or weak? Weak. Okay, in the gum, you all know gum? Yeah. The gum, okay, we have very small capillaries. Okay, if the person is having scurvy, severe form of vitamin C deficiency, if he is doing miswak, what will happen? It will bleed. It will bleed. Understand? So gum bleeding will happen. Understand? If I am not recording, I would have thrown you both of you out of the class. Okay? Well, what make you to laugh? From the starting of the class, you are laughing. How you can do the 2 things? Laughing and concentrating in the class. It's impossible to do. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the stepwise process of healing. Okay, what happens, what are the steps happens, how the scar forms. Okay, so for good healing to start, good repair to start, we need good inflammation. We need good inflammation. Understand? So that is the first step. First step is we need good inflammation. I told we need good nutrition. For example, we need good vitamin C. So when there is injury, okay, the blood vessel is also cut, right? So we need the connection, right? We need the blood vessels to grow. So the angiogenesis means, angio means blood vessel, genesis means formation, new blood vessel formation. Understand? That is the next step. Third step is we need collagen for the scar, right? We need collagen for the scar. The collagen is produced by what? Fibroblast. We need more fibroblast, and we need more fibroblasts coming to the injury area. Understand? So the logically the next step should be migration and proliferation of the fibroblast. Understand this? Okay. These two together called as granulation tissue. Okay. This is very important. That's why I put it in a block letter. Granulation tissue is very important. For example, a patient came to me, okay, and he has some infection here. Okay, I removed the infection. He has abscess. Large pus collection is called abscess, right? So I removed the pus like a putting the taking ice cream from the bowl. Okay, I removed it. Okay, then I cleaned the wound. Then I left it for healing. I dressed it. I will tell him. I told him to come after the week. So he came, and I am removing the wound, and I will see the wound. I will inspect the wound. Understand? I will inspect the wound. The wound should be normally the wound when they are healing, it will be pink in color. If you all experience the wound, you can see it will become pink in color. You all know pink?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, you all know pink. Okay. So pink in color. Understand? Okay. Why it is in pink in color? Because that pink color is the granulation tissue. Okay. Hello, salam alaikum. Yes, brother. Huh? Okay, one second. See, let me finish this slide and I'll go and come because John wants to know. Okay. So now, angiogenesis and this migration and proliferation of fibroblasts together called as granulation tissue. Okay, and it is pink in color, right? Okay. Now I am removing the bandage. Instead of pink color, I am seeing yellow color spots. It is pus, which means wound got infected. Understand? Wound got infected. So again I will clean the complete wound. I will start the healing process. Understand? I will start the healing process. So that's why it is important to know the granulation tissue, and it should be pink in color. Why it is pink? Because of the proliferation of the blood vessel and migration and proliferation of the fibroblast. Okay. So after that the collagen forms. After that the scar tissue forms. Once the scar tissue forms, okay, the collagen forms, we need the collagen to be stopped. Okay, we don't want the collagen to keep on coming. Okay, so that is called remodeling. That is called remodeling. So these are the 5 processes involved in the scar formation. Understand? So any chronic inflammation, it will lead to the fibrosis. Understand? It will lead to the fibrosis. Okay, just I stop here. Okay.